Hey guys, it's Monday, February 1st, and this is your update. Sorry this one's coming to you kind of late, guys. My weekend was crammed, and I'm going to tell you about it, but first I'm going to tell you about my morning, and the reason that I actually have time to film this now. So I had a really rough night. I got to bed late, and I kept on waking up for various really unusual reasons, like knocking my clock off my wall with my elbow, which I've never done before, and it sucked, and I had to get it out and get a new battery and put it back on, and it's like, ah. And this also means that I woke up an hour later than I usually do, which is okay. I still had enough time to get everything done. I only had cereal for breakfast, but that was okay. I rushed to my class. I'm right on time. It's been canceled. Which, you know, that's okay by me. I just wouldn't have minded sleeping in and not hurrying along. I was going to buy coffee, but the line was so horrendous I just made my own, and that's okay, because I finally have my electric kettle back, and I'm so happy. And, you know, this way I got a 20-minute walk, and you know what? I don't care. It's a nice morning. Let's just make do with it. As to this video being a day late, but not $1 short, well, my weekend was packed. Friday after my class, the one that was canceled today, I worked on homework all afternoon, and in the evening I worked Deflator Mouse. Saturday I did homework all day, and then in the evening I worked Deflator Mouse. Sunday, in the morning I spent time with Hannah. In the afternoon I worked Deflator Mouse, and in the evening I did homework and some writing. The bottom line is that I was so exhausted by Sunday night that I just could not get myself to do the vlog. I'm real sorry about that. Here it is. You gotta understand, I am really busy with classes. But it's not a bad thing. As I told you, things were going to pick up, and I have lots to talk about this vlog. Some stuff that I forgot to talk about last week, and just some current stuff. Let's start with classes. They rock. I love all of my classes. And they're actually a lot easier than I thought, sort of. My class times are relatively short and relatively spread out, so being in class is not a challenge. That's fine. It's just, as you can already figure out, the homework levels. I work all day, every day, and Lord is it tiring. But my cross-cultural religion class, awesome. Native Americans with Professor Buttonhagen, also awesome, and my friend Jane is in that class. Methods class. I'm a little less enthused about this one, but it's still really cool. I'm starting sort of my research project, which will be a 30-page paper. I'm not going to get into what I'm researching here, but it's also going to be cool provided it all works out. And I have a research partner, this girl named Miranda that I know through Anthro Club, and who's also in my religion class, so that's cool. And then there is my source studies class with Professor Levine. That's pretty fun too, though the class right now is really crowded, and I'm not such a fan of that. We're reading the Iliad right now. It's really, really tiring, but it's not too bad. And then I also have my playwriting class, which is really, really cool. And that is, well, we're working on the play right now. I've met with the professor once. I need to get working on the play itself more. I just haven't really had the time. But I'm doing the exercises he wants me to do. He shared all the concerns I had about the play, but also was really enthused about the project, so I'm really excited about this. I'm having a great week with classes. But yeah, this does mean I'm really, really busy. But that's a good thing. I like keeping occupied, and it's nice meeting new people and having something to do. But hey, Deflator Mouse, I can't get the music freaking out of my head. Now let's ask me again what I thought of the show. Again, it doesn't really matter because it closed yesterday, but I'm going to tell you what I thought anyway. I give this show a solid meh, guys. It's certainly not bad by any means, but the production left me less than enthusiastic. The singing was good, but the soloists really needed to project more. I could hardly hear them when they sang, unless it was an ensemble number. It was pretty hopeless. Acting, there were a few good actors, but mostly it was pretty bad. The big problem I had with this show was that they transposed it to a current Hollywood setting, which isn't in itself a bad idea. It's okay to transplant shows that are old. I have no problem with that. But it also means they tweaked the libretto, like throwing in pop culture references and topical humor. While that's fine, it's actually not fine. It's called mugging. It's not really all that funny. You shouldn't change the show to suit your purposes. It was lame. But with me, this show never really had much of a chance anyway, since I saw an amazing production of it at PLU last year at their opera workshop. The one point I give in this production's favor is that they chopped a good half hour off the production, and that's from cutting the entr'acte. Now, usually I would be mortified at such a transgression, but if you don't, it's a 3-hour show. And I remember sitting there, looking at my watch, going, oh my god, when is this entr'acte gonna end? It was at least 20 minutes long. I think it was a smart idea to cut it. But then at the time I saw the production, I was also dealing with a friend who was in a coma, so I wasn't really in a relaxed state of being to watch it. Yeah, I guess you really should take what I say about opera and operetta with a grain of salt. I'm not a big opera fan. There are some I listen to, and I totally agree, the music is beautiful, but that's sort of the problem for me. I get so wrapped up in the fact that they're saying the same damn thing over and over, and I have to remind myself it's about the music, not the lyrics. And as a writer, that's torture to me. So, opera's cool, but it's way too frickin' long for me. But, I mean, I guess Les Mis is 3 hours, but I don't know, I guess Les Mis is technically an operetta, but I don't want to give it that distinction, and we'll get into that some other day. We got plenty of to talk about today. So my last weekend of work's been cool. I've been getting some money, and that's awesome. What I'm going to be doing next weekend is I'm going to be working again, but Sunday I'm going into the city. There was a lot I planned on doing, and a lot of people I planned on meeting. That didn't really work out, but Han and I are still going to do a bunch of cool stuff. We found a place to get really cheap pedicures, and we're going to do that. Maybe do some shopping. Maybe we'll see a show. I don't know. But we're going to have a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to going. What show will we see? I'll tell you what show we won't see, Ragtime, because it closed. Those familiar will know that it really opened not that long ago, I think November, and what's really strange is it opened to great reviews. Ben Brantley gave it a really positive review, which is a change from when he reviewed it 13 years ago in its original production. So why did the show close so soon? It was predicted to run for a long time. Well, according to my friend Michael, it's from poor location, but I know the real reason. It's my Ragtime curse. I've tried seeing this show 3 frickin' times, and I never, ever have. When I was in junior in high school, junior or senior, it premiered in Lakeview, and yeah, couldn't see it then because the tickets were sold out. It opened at Portland Center Stage right after I left for New York. Obviously, I couldn't see it then, but I figured it's okay. I know it's opening in New York. I'll see it. Obviously, I didn't see it. So what else is there to see right now? Not a whole lot. God of Carnage, you know how I wanted to see that? My playwriting professor said it was only okay, not really worth seeing, and since there's no student rush tickets, I'm not going to waste the money and stand in the TKTS line for over an hour just to get $50 tickets to a show that isn't that good. Yeah, there's a little night music, but I was highly skeptical about that, and reports have indicated that it's not that good. It's not the casting, which is star-studded, but something about it is off, and it's really a show you have to get perfect to get right at all. And I already saw an amazing production this summer with my mom over at the U of P, so I'm totally satisfied. I'm happy with what I saw. I don't need anything else. And Trevor Nunn really doesn't enthuse me as a director. I can't think of anything he's done with any sort of depth from the last 15 years. He's kind of a sellout when it comes to musical theater, usually British musical theater. And this is actually something I talked about with my playwriting professor. We were at a loss of plays to see. He really recommended After Miss Julie, but it just closed, and so we're really having a hard time thinking of anything that's worth seeing. And he wants me to see something topical, because we were really talking about 19th century plays in our last meeting, and kind of need to get into the current century. But enough about theater, let's talk about other stuff, like my vacation plans. I told you guys as soon as I knew where I was going to be for spring break, you'd know. Well, I know, and now you'll know. I am going to be going to Portland. Great news for all my Portland peeps, not so great news for all my Savannah peeps. That's a little disappointing, but I'll still meet up with them, theoretically. I might meet up with them in Portland anyway. And I know this is going to make my parents really super happy. So, hey, that's good. And I'm looking forward to going home. I got textbooks to sell. I got people to see. I got things to do. It'll be fun. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this week, guys. I hope you're having a great week. I hope this update was longer and more exciting for you. I certainly had a better time with it. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to talk about. Obviously, I won't be able to get back to you next week about my New York adventures, but the week after that, I'm sure I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll be late again and you will hear about it. Anyway, wish me luck with all the work I gotta do. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Go out and tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make